It was supposed to be a night of glitz, glamour, and goodwill. A star-studded charity gala at the Beverly Hilton where Hollywood's elite gathered to support mental health awareness. The ballroom was a vision of elegance. Crystal chandeliers cast golden light across velvet-draped walls, and tables were adorned with extravagant floral arrangements. Waiters glided through the crowd with champagne flutes, while the hum of excited chatter filled the air. But the real buzz? Selena Gomez and Taylor Swift, two of the biggest names in music, were set to take the stage together. Best friends for over a decade, their bond was legendary. Sleepovers, red carpet hugs, and countless public declarations of love. Tonight, with mental health as the cause, a topic both had championed, they were expected to deliver a heartfelt, unifying speech. Instead, what unfolded was a jaw-dropping, heart-wrenching spectacle that left the world gasping. The event was live-streamed, with millions tuning in to watch the icons share the spotlight. Cameras flashed as celebrities mingled, but all eyes were on Selena and Taylor. They arrived separately, but were seated at the same table, smiling for the photographers, their chemistry seemingly intact. Selena, in a sleek black gown that hugged her curves, exuded quiet confidence, her hair pulled back in a chic bun. Taylor, radiant in a soft pink dress, laughed and waved to fans, her signature red lips curving into a familiar smile. They exchanged a quick hug for the cameras, but something felt off. A stiffness in their embrace, a fleeting glance that didn't quite connect. Still, no one thought much of it. After all, they were pros at keeping up appearances. As the night progressed, the energy in the room shifted. The host, a well-known comedian, cracked jokes to warm up the crowd, but the real anticipation was for Selena and Taylor's joint appearance. When the time came, the lights dimmed and a spotlight illuminated the stage. Selena stepped up first, her heels clicking against the polished floor. The applause was thunderous, a wave of adoration washing over her as she adjusted the microphone. "Thank you all for being here," she began, her voice warm and steady. "Mental health is something I hold close to my heart, and I'm honored to share this night with people who've lifted me up." Behind her, Taylor clapped, her face glowing with what looked like pride. It was the kind of moment fans would screenshot and share, a snapshot of sisterhood. But then, everything changed. Selena's smile faltered, just for a second, but it was enough to make the room hold its breath. She took a deep breath, her gaze hardening as she stared out into the sea of faces. "Loyalty is everything in this world," she said, her voice dropping to a lower, more serious tone. "Trust too, but sometimes the people you think are your family, they're the ones who hurt you the most." A murmur rippled through the crowd, confusion mixing with curiosity. What was she talking about? The camera panned to Taylor, whose smile had vanished, replaced by a look of dawning horror. Her hands, resting on her lap, began to tremble. Selena pressed on, her words deliberate, each one landing like a stone in still water. "I've learned that not everyone who calls you friend means it. Some people, they'll use you, ride your wave, smile for the cameras, and stab you in the back when it suits them." The ballroom fell silent. The only sound, the faint clinking of glasses from the back. Guests exchanged wide-eyed glances, some leaning forward in their seats, others frozen in shock. Taylor's face was pale, her lips parted as if she wanted to speak but couldn't find the words. "Selena, what are you—" she started, her voice barely above a whisper. But Selena cut her off with a sharp, "Let me finish." It was a command, not a request, and Taylor recoiled, as if struck. The tension was suffocating. Selena's eyes, usually soft and kind, were now steely, unyielding. "You think you know someone," she continued, her voice wavering just slightly, betraying the emotion beneath her calm exterior. "You spend years believing in them, thinking those moments meant something. But then you realize it was all a game, being used for clout, for headlines, for someone else's ego." The camera zoomed in on Taylor, and what it captured was devastating. Her eyes welled with tears, her carefully applied makeup starting to smudge as she fought to keep her composure. She was crumbling, piece by piece, in front of millions.
"I let it happen because I wanted to believe in the friendship," Selena said,
her tone now tinged with bitterness. "I wanted to think those years were real, but I was wrong." The crowd was in an uproar. Gasps, whispers, and the frantic tapping of phones as people began recording. Taylor tried again, her voice breaking. "Selena, please. This isn't," but Selena turned to her, eyes blazing. "You knew what you were doing, and I let it happen, but not anymore." With that, she set the microphone down with a deliberate thud and walked off the stage. No tears, no hesitation, just quiet, unshakable strength. She disappeared into the wings, leaving Taylor alone under the harsh glare of the spotlight. Taylor stood there frozen as the reality of what had just happened sank in. Then, like a dam breaking, she covered her face with her hands, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. The camera caught every agonizing detail, the tears streaming down her cheeks, the way her knees buckled slightly as she struggled to stay upright. The audience was stunned. Some clapped awkwardly, unsure of what to do, while others sat in horrified silence, their eyes darting between the stage and their phones. Behind the scenes, event organizers scrambled, whispering frantically about damage control, but it was too late. The moment was already spiraling out of control. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Clips of Selena's speech, each cutting line, each icy stare, flooded social media. Hashtag Selena walks out trended worldwide before she even left the building, with hashtag Taylor betrayal hot on its heels. Selena just ended her. "She's a queen for speaking her truth," one viral tweet declared, racking up thousands of likes. Another fired back, "Taylor's crying because she's shattered. Selena's the real snake here." TikTok was a battlefield of reaction videos, fans sobbing, screaming, and dissecting every frame with captions like, "I can't breathe," or "This is iconic." The debate raged on, with fans picking sides and theories flying about what could have caused such a brutal fallout. Celebrities couldn't resist weighing in. Demi Lovato, a longtime friend of Selena, posted a cryptic message. "Sometimes the truth hurts, but it's better than living a lie." Katy Perry, who had her own history with Taylor, shared a broken heart emoji with the caption, "This one cuts deep," reigniting old rumors. Even Hailey Bieber stirred the pot, posting a selfie with "Karma's a bitch" as the caption, a not-so-subtle nod to her own past with Selena. The drama was everywhere, inescapable, and the world was hooked. Backstage, chaos reigned. The gala's PR team released a bland statement. "We appreciate our speaker's passion," but it was laughably inadequate. Taylor's team was in crisis mode, trying to contain the fallout, but the videos were unstoppable, shared and reshared millions of times. Gossip sites dug into the archives, hunting for clues. Was it about a guy? Some speculated Taylor had stolen an ex from Selena. Others swore it was the other way around. Or maybe it was professional. Whispers of Taylor sabotaging Selena's music collabs began to circulate, fueled by anonymous sources and wild conjecture. The truth remained elusive, but one thing was certain. The friendship was over, and it had ended in the most public, painful way possible. Selena vanished after her speech, offering no further comment. Her social media went dark, leaving fans and critics alike to speculate in the void she left behind. Taylor, meanwhile, was photographed leaving the event early, her face streaked with tears as she ducked into her car, looking utterly broken. The images were splashed across every tabloid, each one more heart-wrenching than the last. In the days that followed, the internet refused to move on. Podcasts dissected every word, YouTubers churned out hour-long analyses, and memes flooded timelines. One was Selena's "You knew what you were doing," overlaid on a courtroom scene. Another with Taylor's tearful face captioned, "When your BFF drags you on live TV." So where does this leave them? Selena, with her quiet strength, walked away like a warrior, but the cost of her truth was steep. Taylor, once untouchable, was left exposed, her vulnerability on full display. Was this the end of an era or just the beginning of a new chapter forged in betrayal and tears? The world may never know what really happened between them. A lover's quarrel, a professional backstab, or simply the slow erosion of trust under the weight of fame. But the echo of that night, the sound of Taylor's sobs, the click of Selena's heels as she walked away, will linger long after the headlines fade. What do you think went down? The question hangs in the air as we all try to make sense of the wreckage.